For centuries, the alien Sci-Fi Empire has ruthlessly subjugated one planet after another, crushing all who dare defy their iron-fisted rule. Their vast armadas of gargantuan warships strike terror into the hearts of every sentient being in the galaxy. But unbeknownst to the arrogant Sci-Fi overlords, a powerful new player has quietly been assembling its own technological arsenal, the once primitive human race. On the distant human colony world of Alteris, the populace goes about their daily lives, unaware of the looming Sci-Fi threat. Amidst the sprawling cities and bustling spaceports, a brilliant young scientist named Evelyn Sinclair works tirelessly in her lab, driven by a relentless curiosity and a burning desire to push the boundaries of human technology. Evelyn's current project is a revolutionary new propulsion system, one that could vastly outperform even the Sci-Fi's fastest interstellar drives. If successful, it would give humanity the speed and maneuverability to evade or outmaneuver the mighty alien warships. But progress has been agonizingly slow, and Evelyn's superiors grow increasingly impatient, worried that the Sci-Fi's ever-encroaching presence may soon make her work obsolete. One night, as Evelyn pores over the complex schematics, a breakthrough suddenly occurs to her. With renewed vigor, she begins making rapid adjustments to her prototype, confident that she is on the verge of a groundbreaking discovery. Little does she know that her work has already come to the attention of the Sci-Fi Empire. Deep within the heart of the Sci-Fi capital, the ruling council convenes in a state of growing unease. Reports have surfaced of unsettling human technological advancements, including the development of powerful new starship drives. The Sci-Fi have never encountered a species capable of challenging their supremacy in space, and the prospect fills them with a rare sense of dread. This human innovation poses a grave threat to our dominion, declares the Sci-Fi Emperor, his voice laced with barely concealed anger. We must act swiftly to crush this upstart civilization before they become bold enough to defy us openly. The council chambers erupt in a frenzy of debate as the Sci-Fi leaders argue over the appropriate course of action. Some advocate for a measured diplomatic approach, while others demand the immediate deployment of a fleet to subjugate the human worlds. In the end, the Emperor's thirst for conquest wins out, and he orders his greatest military commanders to assemble a task force to investigate this newfound human threat. Back on Alteris, Evelyn makes the final adjustments to her prototype, oblivious to the looming Sci-Fi presence. As she activates the experimental drive, the lab is filled with a blinding blue-white light, and the scientist finds herself hurtling through the void of space at velocities beyond anything humanity has ever achieved. Evelyn's groundbreaking discovery has been made, but the true test lies ahead. Can her invention give humanity the edge they need to stand against the fearsome might of the Sci-Fi Empire? During a routine patrol, a lone Sci-Fi cruiser stumbles upon an unfamiliar vessel, a sleek, ominous human warship unlike anything the aliens have encountered. Alarm bells blare through the alien ship as the sensors detect the human craft's powerful energy signature, unlike anything in the Sci-Fi's arsenal. "Sir, the vessel is not responding to our hails," the navigation officer reports, his voice laced with unease. It appears to be heavily armed, but its design is unlike any we've seen before. The Sci-Fi commander, a grizzled veteran named Krell, narrows his eyes as he studies the mysterious human ship. "Raise our defensive shields and prepare the main plasma cannons," he orders, his jaw set with determination. This intruder will learn the cost of trespassing in Sci-Fi space. As the Sci-Fi cruiser closes in, the human vessel suddenly springs into action, its powerful engines propelling it forward with blinding speed. Krell's eyes widen in surprise, but he doesn't hesitate, unleashing a barrage of searing plasma bolts towards the smaller craft. To the Sci-Fi's utter astonishment, the human ship effortlessly evades the incoming fire, its agile maneuvers making a mockery of the lumbering alien vessel. Before Krell can issue another command, the human warship retaliates, its advanced weaponry lancing out with devastating precision. Klaxons blare throughout the Psyloth cruiser as systems begin to fail, the alien ship shields collapsing under the relentless onslaught. Krell grips the edge of the command console, his mandibles clicking in a mixture of shock and rage. Impossible, he hisses, watching helplessly as his once mighty vessel is systematically dismantled by the human's superior firepower. How can this be? With a final, earth-shattering explosion, the Psyloth cruiser is reduced to a drifting, lifeless hulk. The human warship, its sleek lines unmarred by the brief engagement, smoothly transitions into warp, disappearing in a burst of blinding light. In the stunned silence that follows, the surviving Psyloth crew members exchange horrified glances, their minds reeling from the implications of what they've just witnessed. Krell, his clawed hands trembling with a rare emotion akin to fear, opens a coded subspace transmission to the Psyloth capital. "This is Commander Krell," he announces, his normally booming voice now tinged with uncertainty. "We have encountered a human vessel, unlike anything we've seen before. Its capabilities far exceed our own, and it has utterly destroyed my ship with ease. You must inform the Emperor immediately. The humans pose a grave threat to the Psyloth Empire." As the message is relayed across the vast expanse of Psyloth-controlled space, a sense of unease and trepidation begins to spread through the ranks of the mighty alien civilization. For the first time in centuries, the unassailable dominance of the Psyloth Empire has been called into question, and the prospect of a formidable new galactic power emerging to challenge their supremacy fills the ruling class with a deep, unsettling dread. News of the human ship's stunning victory over the Psyloth cruiser spreads like wildfire through the Empire, sparking panic and unrest among the ruling elite. In the Grand Council chambers of the Psyloth capital, the Emperor and his advisors convene an emergency session, their faces etched with a rare expression of concern. "This is an outrage," the Emperor bellows, his clawed fists slamming against the ornate table. "How dare these insignificant humans defy the might of the Psyloth Empire?" One of the council members, a shrewd strategist named Zurin, raises a placating claw. "My lord, we must not act hastily. This human vessel, while formidable, is but a single ship. We cannot assume that all of their kind possess such advanced technology." The Emperor narrows his eyes, his mandibles clicking in agitation. "And yet, the very existence of this craft poses a threat to our dominion. We cannot allow the humans to grow bolder, lest they one day challenge us openly." Zurin nods grimly. "Then we must take action, my lord. I suggest we dispatch a task force to locate and neutralize this human vessel, as well as conduct a thorough investigation into the extent of their technological capabilities." The Emperor considers the proposal, his expression thoughtful. "Yes, that is a prudent course of action. Assemble our finest warships and commanders. I want this human threat eliminated swiftly and decisively." Bowing respectfully, Zurin turns to relay the Emperor's orders, his mind already racing with strategies to crush the impudent humans. As the council disperses, the Psyloth leader stares out the viewport, his gaze fixed on the distant stars. "Foolish creatures," he mutters, his voice laced with contempt. "You have dared to challenge the might of the Psyloth Empire. Soon, you will learn the true price of your insolence." Within hours, a massive Psyloth armada is assembled, its vessels bristling with fearsome weaponry and cutting-edge defensive systems. The fleet sets a course for the remote star system, where the human ship was last detected, the commanders under strict orders to leave no stone unturned in their hunt for the elusive craft. As the Psyloth ships break through the dimensional barrier and emerge into real space, the fleet's sensors immediately detect the telltale warp signature of the human vessel. But to the alien's shock, the readings also reveal the presence of a heavily fortified human colony world, a sprawling settlement teeming with activity and protected by an array of powerful defense platforms. The Psyloth commander, a seasoned veteran named Growlerin, narrows his eyes as he surveys the unexpected discovery. "So, the humans have established a foothold in this sector," he muses, his mandibles clicking in contemplation. Deploy the fleet to surround the colony and prepare the invasion forces. We will crush these upstarts and reclaim this world for the glory of the Xyloth Empire. With a thunderous roar, the Xyloth Armada surges forward, its powerful engines propelling the massive warships towards the human settlement. The stage is now set for a decisive confrontation that will determine the fate of humanity's fragile foothold in the galaxy. The Xyloth Armada, its sleek vessels bristling with weaponry, closes in on the remote human colony world. Gralrin, the fleet commander, narrows his eyes as his sensors detect the elaborate network of defensive platforms and orbital gun emplacements surrounding the settlement. So the humans have fortified this world, he muses, his mandibles clicking in a mixture of annoyance and begrudging respect. No matter. Our forces will crush their pathetic defenses with ease. With a curt nod, Gralrin orders his ships to commence the bombardment, unleashing a devastating barrage of plasma torpedoes and particle beam salvos towards the human installations. The sky above the colony is soon alight with explosions as the Xyloth's overwhelming firepower decimates the outlying defenses. But just as Gralrin prepares to give the order for the ground invasion, a sudden surge of energy readings on his sensors causes him to hesitate. His eyes widen in shock as a massive fleet of human warships emerges from warp, their sleek, angular hulls bristling with advanced weaponry. What is the meaning of this? The Xyloth commander roars, his claws gripping the edge of the command console. Where did these ships come from? The navigation officer's voice is tinged with a rare note of trepidation. Sir, the human fleet appears to have been waiting for us. They are powering up their main weapons and moving to intercept. Gralrin's mandibles click in a gesture of frustration. Fools. Do they truly believe they can stand against the might of the Xyloth Empire? Without hesitation, the Xyloth commander orders his ships to engage the human fleet, confident that their superior numbers and firepower will quickly overwhelm the upstart vessels. But as the two armadas clash in a titanic battle, it becomes painfully clear that the humans possess not only the technological edge, but also a level of tactical coordination that the Xyloth have never encountered before. The human ships dart and weave through the Xyloth formations, their advanced point defense systems shrugging off the aliens' best efforts. Meanwhile, their own devastating energy weapons and missile barrages systematically cripple and destroy the Xyloth vessels one by one, despite the numerical advantage. Gralrin watches in stunned disbelief as his once mighty fleet is steadily whittled down, his claws clenching in rage. Impossible, he growls, his gaze fixed on the relentless human onslaught. How can this be? As the battle rages on, the Xyloth commander realizes with growing dread that his forces are being outmatched at every turn. The humans' superior maneuverability, firepower, and tactical coordination are proving to be a devastating combination that the Xyloth seemingly have no answer for. With no choice but to accept the bitter reality of their defeat, Gralrin reluctantly orders a full retreat, his battered ships limping away from the human colony as quickly as their damaged engines will allow. The once proud Xyloth Armada has been decisively crushed, leaving the alien empire's ruling class shaken to the core by the sudden emergence of this formidable new galactic power. The battered Xyloth Armada limps back to the imperial capital, its commanders reeling from the humiliating defeat at the human colony world. Gralrin, his pride shattered, stands before the Xyloth Emperor and his council, his mandibles clicking with a rare mixture of shame and trepidation. My lord, the humans possess capabilities that far exceed our own, the defeated commander reports, his voice laced with reluctance. Their ships are faster, more maneuverable, and their weapons are devastatingly effective. We were utterly outmatched. The Emperor's eyes narrow dangerously, his clawed fingers drumming against the ornate armrest of his throne. Unacceptable, he hisses, his tone dripping with barely contained fury. The Xyloth Empire does not suffer such embarrassing defeats. Zarin, the shrewd strategist, steps forward, his expression grim. My lord, we must acknowledge the gravity of this situation. The humans have clearly developed technology that surpasses our own. If left unchecked, they may pose a genuine threat to the stability of our empire. The Emperor's mandibles click in agitation. Then we must eliminate this threat, once and for all. Assemble our finest minds, our most talented weapons specialists. I want them to devise a plan to crush the humans and reclaim our rightful dominance over the galaxy. Bowing respectfully, Zarin turns to relay the Emperor's orders, his mind already racing with possibilities. In the following weeks, the Tyloth capital is a flurry of activity as the Empire's top scientists, engineers, and military tacticians convene to tackle the human problem. Simulations are run, battle plans are meticulously crafted, and new weapon systems are hastily developed, all with the singular goal of obliterating the human threat. The Tyloth leadership is determined to leave no stone unturned in their quest to regain the initiative. As the preparations near completion, Zarin presents the finalized strategy to the Emperor, his eyes glinting with a mixture of confidence and trepidation. My lord, our forces are ready. We have developed a comprehensive plan to neutralize the human fleet and destroy their colony world. Once implemented, the humans will be crushed under the full might of the Tyloth Empire. The Emperor nods, a cold, calculated smile spreading across his face. Excellent. Begin the operation immediately. I want the humans to know the true cost of daring to challenge our supremacy. With a flourish, Zarin bows and departs, already coordinating the massive Tyloth Armada's deployment. The stage is now set for a decisive showdown, one that will determine the fate of humanity's fragile foothold in the galaxy. The human colony world braces for the impending Tyloth onslaught, its people working tirelessly to fortify their defenses and prepare for the inevitable assault. The colonial militia, bolstered by the arrival of additional warships and advanced weaponry from the human homeworld, takes up positions around the sprawling settlements and key strategic locations. At the heart of the colony, a seasoned veteran named Captain Evelyn Sinclair oversees the final preparations, her brow furrowed with a mixture of determination and trepidation. She knows that the Tyloth forces will be vast and their weapons formidable, but the technological breakthroughs her team has achieved give them a fighting chance. All units, report in. Sinclair barks into the comm channel, her eyes scanning the tactical display. I want every defense system primed and ready to go. We can't afford any weaknesses in our defenses. One by one, the colonial militia commanders confirm their readiness, their voices laced with a sense of grim resolve. Sinclair nods, her expression hardening as she turns her gaze to the horizon, where the ominous silhouettes of the approaching Tyloth Armada begin to take shape. Here they come, she mutters, her fingers tightening around the hilt of her sidearm. All units, stand by. Fire on my mark. As the massive Tyloth fleet emerges from the depths of space, its vessels bristling with weaponry, the human defenders unleash a devastating barrage of energy beams, missile salvos, and point defense turret fire. The sky erupts in a dazzling display of light and sound as the two forces clash in a titanic struggle for control of the colony. Despite the Tyloth's overwhelming numerical advantage, the human defenders hold their ground, their advanced technology and coordinated tactics allowing them to weather the initial onslaught. Sinclair, her face set in a determined scowl, directs the flow of the battle, her orders echoing across the comm channels as she maneuvers her forces with precision. But as the battle rages on, the human defenses begin to falter under the sheer weight of the Tyloth assault. One by one, the colonial militia's fortified positions are overrun, and the defensive perimeter is steadily pushed back towards the heart of the settlement. We can't hold them much longer. A frantic voice crackles over the comm, the sounds of explosions and weapons fire in the background. The Tyloth are breaking through. Sinclair grits her teeth, her mind racing as she searches for a way to turn the tide. Just when all seems lost, a familiar warp signature suddenly appears on her sensors, and a sleek, powerful human warship emerges from the void, its weapons systems primed and ready. Captain Sinclair, this is the Endeavor. A calm voice announces over the comm. We're here to assist. Hang on. Help is on the way. As the Endeavor unleashes a devastating barrage of its advanced energy weapons, decimating the Psyloph forces, a glimmer of hope ignites within the human defenders. The tide of the battle is about to turn, and the Psyloph invaders are about to learn a harsh lesson. The humans are a force to be reckoned with. The stunning arrival of the Endeavor, with its advanced weaponry and formidable firepower, turns the tide of the battle against the Psyloph invaders. As the human warship's devastating energy beams and precision-guided missiles decimate the alien fleet, the colonial defenders are reinvigorated, rallying to push back the Psyloph assault. Captain Sinclair, her eyes narrowed with determination, coordinates the counterattack, her orders barked with unwavering authority. The human forces, emboldened by the Endeavor's arrival, fight with a renewed sense of purpose, their advanced technologies and tactical coordination slowly but surely overwhelming the Psyloph's numerical advantage. Deep within the heart of the Psyloph Empire, the ruling council convenes in a state of growing alarm. The news of the disastrous defeat at the human colony world has spread rapidly, prompting a hasty emergency meeting to address the crisis. This is an unacceptable situation. The Emperor seethes, his clawed fists slamming against the ornate table. The humans have dared to challenge our supremacy, and now they have won a decisive victory against our finest forces. Zarin, the ever-pragmatic strategist, clears his throat, his mandibles clicking in a gesture of caution. My lord, we must acknowledge the gravity of this threat. The humans have demonstrated capabilities that far exceed our own. If left unchecked, they could pose an existential danger to the stability of our empire. The Emperor's eyes narrow dangerously. Precisely why we cannot allow this upstart species to grow any stronger. Summon our greatest military minds, our most talented weapons developers. I want a plan to crush the humans, once and for all. As the council members scramble to carry out the Emperor's orders, a growing sense of unease and trepidation spreads through the ranks of the Psyloph leadership. For the first time in centuries, the might of the Empire is being called into question, and the prospect of a formidable new galactic power emerging to challenge their dominance fills them with a deep, unsettling dread. Over the following weeks, the Psyloph's top strategists and scientists worked tirelessly, pouring their collective knowledge and resources into devising a comprehensive plan to neutralize the human threat. Cutting-edge weapons systems are hastily developed, while intricate battle simulations are run to identify the most effective tactics for overwhelming the human defenses. Finally, the Emperor summons his council, a cold, calculated smile spreading across his face. The time has come to teach these humans a lesson they will never forget. Gather the full might of our fleets. We will crush their pathetic colony and any who dare to stand in our way. As the Psyloph Armada prepares for its decisive assault, the stage is set for a climactic showdown that will determine the fate of humanity's fragile foothold in the galaxy. The Psyloph Empire is determined to reclaim its rightful dominance, regardless of the cost. But the humans have proven themselves to be a force to be reckoned with, and they have no intention of surrendering without a fight. The massive Psyloph Armada, its vessels bristling with the latest in advanced weaponry and defensive technologies, emerges from warp space and sets its sights on the human colony world. At the heart of the defensive forces, the Endeavor and the colonial militia stand ready, their weapons primed and their resolve unwavering. As the two fleets close in on each other, an uneasy silence settles over the battlefield. Captain Sinclair, her gaze fixed on the approaching Psyloph ships, takes a deep breath, steeling herself for the impending onslaught. All units, stand by, she commands, her voice calm and collected. Remember your training and don't break formation. We've got this. The Psyloph commander, a seasoned veteran named Galactic, narrows his eyes as he surveys the human defenses. So the upstarts have reinforced their position, he murmurs, his mandibles clicking in a gesture of begrudging respect. No matter. Our forces will crush them with ease. With a curt nod, Galactic orders his ships to commence the bombardment, unleashing a devastating barrage of plasma torpedoes and particle beam salvos towards the human colony. The sky erupts in a dazzling display of light and sound as the Tyloth's overwhelming firepower rains down upon the defenders. But to the alien commander's shock, the human forces hold their ground, their advanced shielding systems and point defense turrets shrugging off the initial assault with ease. The Endeavour, its powerful engines propelling it forward, leads the counterattack, its devastating energy weapons systematically dismantling the Tyloth vessels one by one. Grolran's mandibles click in frustration as he watches his carefully laid plans unravel before his eyes. Impossible, he growls, his claws gripping the edge of the command console. How can these humans be so resilient? As the battle rages on, the human defenders demonstrate an unparalleled level of tactical coordination and technological superiority, outmaneuvering and outgunning the Tyloth forces at every turn. The Endeavour, its captain guiding the human fleet with brilliant precision, becomes the linchpin of the defense, its devastating firepower carving a path through the Tyloth armada. Slowly but surely, the tide of the battle turns in the humans' favor, with the Tyloth ships steadily being whittled down despite their numerical advantage. Grolran, his once confident demeanor shattered, watches in growing despair as his vaunted fleet is systematically dismantled by the relentless human onslaught. In a final, desperate act, the Tyloth commander orders a full retreat, his battered ships limping away from the human colony as quickly as their damaged engines will allow. Sinclair, her eyes narrowed with triumph, orders her forces to stand down, a grim satisfaction etched on her features. The Tyloth Empire has been defeated, she declares, her voice ringing with a newfound confidence. Humanity has taken its rightful place among the stars, and we will never again bow to the whims of these arrogant alien overlords. As the Tyloth armada retreats, the humans of the colony world erupt in cheers, their spirits lifted by the knowledge that they have emerged victorious against the once unassailable might of the Tyloth Empire. A new era has dawned, one where humanity's technological prowess and indomitable spirit have secured their place as a dominant galactic power.